All right, Vince is going to be talking about Field Day. He's our chairman this year, and here we go.
All right. Good evening, one and all. It is that time of the year, as the slide clearly shows. It is Field Day time, which is coming up in less than 2 weeks from now, the last weekend of this month. And it's always a lot of fun. Everybody has a great time. Now, for many, many years, we operated as a 2F station, 2 Foxtrot. Foxtrot class is for an EOC type station. Well, you know, we serve the city of Melbourne and we're considered an EOC station, but there are certain other folks in the county who don't buy that and have decided that they wanted to give us a bunch of static. So that was kind of before COVID shut things down for a couple of years. We started doing our field day. Well, we actually had field day in 2020 and 21. Last year, everybody loved our field day when we went back to the Alpha category, had stations set up out in the field. We had the satellite set up in the club trailer. I think that was about the last thing we did in the old trailer before it got swapped out. And the GOTA station was in there as well. But everybody had a great time, and we got so much great feedback that we decided we're just going to do Class A again this year. Little bit different though, we're going to be set up in the smokehouse for our field day stations. The satellite and GOTA stations will still be in the club shack. We'll be operating off of a generator, and so we'll be within the spirit of field day there. But it'll be comfortable for everybody. No bugs, no sweltering heat. Same with the field day stations. They'll be set up in the smokehouse at the Fire Training Center. The smokehouse has brand new air conditioning. They're going to provide us the remote controls for the air conditioning, so it'll be nice and comfortable operating. Again, we will operate off of generators, not off of the mains. We will be operating Class 4 Alpha, so we'll have 4 separate stations set up, and so I'll get to that here in just a moment. A few pictures of some of our previous field days. This was from last year. And everybody having a good time. Looks like eating was a priority, which usually is at field day. I've been to a lot of different field days. Some people were out there to get the points, and some people were just out there to eat and socialize. And every field day I had fun, no matter what the goal of field day was. Education is an important part. Dennis doing the class last year. We get extra points for that. Chuck with the satellite station set up. And a lot of people went in and observed the satellite passes, which is really, really fascinating. The top 2 pictures, that is Donald K4ILG, our previous secretary, who we unfortunately lost here a few months ago, and one of his daughters. Which daughter is that, Walter?
That's the youngest one, Anna Lynn.
Okay, that's Anna Lynn. And then Walter and a reporter from the Hometown News, I believe. And so they did a nice write-up for us. Of course, Bob does a great job with the information setup, the boards, and we have Jeff Beals and Barry Porter, thank you, who came to visit. They go to all the field day locations, or as many as they can visit in the South Florida section, and they stopped by ours for a little while. And like I said, eating was high on the list. Those delicious ribs, courtesy of Clyde. Thank you again, Clyde. They were wonderful. And we had the tri-bander set up on the tower trailer, which we're going to do again this year. So that will be for the 10, 15, and 20 meter stations. They will run through a triplexer, so we can use one antenna on 3 different bands. We'll also have dipoles set up for 40 and 80. Okay, so field day is going to be June 24th and 25th. It starts officially at 2 p.m. Saturday, runs until 2 p.m. Sunday. It's a 24-hour event. It'll be at the PCARS Club Station. Pre-setup is going to be on Friday, June 23rd. We usually have lunch. There's lunch at the Jason's Deli, or unless the Chinese food is open by then. Not open yet. Okay, so it'll be Jason's Deli. A lot of folks go to Golden Corral. Wherever you happen to have lunch, after lunch, come up to the club station. We'll start getting things set up. We'll get antennas put together up on the tower trailer. We'll get cable all ready to go. And so that Saturday, there's not going to be a whole lot to do to get ready. Everything will be set up. We'll have the radios all set up and ready to go. Now, the Melbourne Police Department is going to be conducting classes at the Fire Training Center on Saturday morning. They should be finished by 2 o'clock, should be. Hopefully they will be, but we're not using the classroom until later in that day, so we shouldn't interfere with them. They shouldn't interfere with us. Field day officially starts at 2 p.m. That's when we can go on the air and start making contacts. And then teardown of field day. Our contacts end at 2 p.m. on Sunday, and we'll breathe for about 15 minutes. We'll take some pictures and all that good stuff, and then we'll start taking everything down and break everything down, put it back in its constituent locations, and hopefully that won't take too long. Last year was, what, maybe 90 minutes or so to tear everything down. It went very fast. So what is Field Day? Field Day is Ham Radio's open house. Hams throughout North America and South America. It's really a Region 2 event. Region 2 being the Western Hemisphere, the Americas. So you don't hear a lot of hams from South America on Field Day. It's mostly from North America. But it's for combining public service, emergency preparedness, community outreach, and technical skills all in a single event. And it's been happening since 1933, the most popular event in ham radio. Some people say it's a contest. Some people say it's not a contest. Take it however you want it to be. If you want to operate as a contest, great. If you just want to come out and socialize, great. Field Day is what we want it to be, whatever you want it to be. And we invite the public too. Okay, the objective is to work as many stations as possible on the classic HF bands. So the work bands are not in play on Field Day. So don't go on 12, 17, or 30 meters or 60 meters. But you can use 160, 84. Well, you can't use 160. We won't have an antenna. Sorry, Dan. I know. You'll be crying on your key. So 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10, we will have a 6-meter station set up inside the club trailer. It's kind of a bonus station. And we'll learn to operate in less than optimal conditions. Like I said, we'll be in a nice air-conditioned room, which is kind of nice because, you know, a lot of us are at the point where we don't want to sit outside and be eaten by bugs all night long. So that's going to be pretty nice and bake in the heat and whatnot. And as I mentioned, it's an IRAU Region 2 event. DX station, you can work them if you want to. You might get credit. They are not eligible to submit entries, but hey, if they want to work you, go ahead and work them.
Your section is DX?
DX. Okay, so back in 2018, we were the #1 station in the 2 Foxtrot division, and we beat the Orleans County Amateur Radio Club by 1 point. But we beat them. We're the winners. We are the champions. Okay. 2020, as I mentioned earlier, was not a normal field day year. Things were changed around. People were operating from their homes for the most part, although we did do a field day event from W4MLB, and we finished 19th in that category. Or no, finished 4th in the country. Okay. And thanks to NB4C for those stats. Okay, the 2023 field day plan, the master plan. So we're going to have chairmen and teams. We have several people already handling certain things. Now, a field day organizational meeting is being held tomorrow evening. It's going to be at the Fire Training Center where the club station is located, in the classroom there at the Fire Training Center. If for some reason that classroom is unavailable, the original plan was to move to the club station. That's not happening because the air conditioner is kind of on the fritz. So we will probably go into the smokehouse and have the meeting if for some reason the classroom is not available, but I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be available. That's going to be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. everyone is welcome to come to the field day meeting. We would love your input. If you want to volunteer for a position, volunteers are always graciously accepted. Hospitality, that is going to be cooking out a lunch. We'll have a grill, hamburgers, hot dogs, nothing fancy. So if you're good at grilling, we'd love to have you volunteer to do that. For the evening overnight crew, we're just getting pizzas. That's usually a very simple and easy way to get everybody well fed and happy. And so it would just be a matter of being the grill master for Saturday lunch. Safety officer, I did have someone volunteer for that. He's not at the meeting tonight, I don't think, but I have to double check with him and make sure that he is planning to continue to serve as safety officer, WB 280F. If he decides no, then we would need a safety officer. We do get extra points for having a safety officer, and it's a good idea. You know, somebody just kind of look around, say, hey, this doesn't look good, we need to take care of this. We want everybody to be safe. Safety first and foremost. We're there to have fun, we're there to have a good time, but we want to be safe doing it. As far as the field setup, antenna stations, generators, Clyde is in charge of all that. Publicity is going to be Dan Fisher, AI4GK. He is not here this evening, so I need to give him a call. The main CW and sideband stations, I guess I'm kind of in charge of getting those set up. So I can take care of that. Chuck, 84ES, taking care of the satellite station. Again, he'll be set up inside the club station in the workroom area. Don, AF4Z, is our education chairman. And so I think, Don, are you going to be doing the program on antennas, the emergency antennas? Okay, yeah, for our extra point class. And we'll probably hold that class about 4 or 5 o'clock, depending on when the police department is finished with the classroom. So right now I'm saying about 4 o'clock, but we might have to play that one by ear. And Phil, I think you're going to be there as well, showing your portable antenna. So a couple of good portable emergency type antenna ideas. So come on out to that class. It will be very educational and informative. Phil, of course, is our emergency coordinator, and Walter will be in charge of the GOTA station. GOTA station is for new hams, people who are unlicensed, people who may have had a license for a while but haven't been on HF in a long, long time, or maybe have never been on HF. It's your chance to get on the air, make a few contacts, have a lot of fun, and who knows, the HF bug might just bite you. These are some of the things we can do to earn extra points for field day. Safety officer appointed, which I mentioned earlier. Publicity. So if we get some sort of blurb in the newspaper, or if we have somebody go on the radio, or we get the TV station to do a little bit on us, that all leads to extra points. Passing formal messages to the Brevard County EOC. So if somebody does traffic handling, we can pass a message through the national traffic system to the Brevard County EOC, and we get points for that. Doesn't have to be anything really important, just, you know, hey, 2023 field day for PCARS is happening, wish you were here. Formal visit by a local government official, possibly Brevard County EOC, ARRL representatives, most likely. Barry Porter and Jeff Beals will stop by again. As far as a local government official, hopefully we can get Andrea to come back out, and maybe she can bring the mayor along with her. The more the merrier, and that gets us extra points. Copying the W1AW bulletins for field day. So W1AW sends out field day bulletins several times in several different modes during field day. And as long as we copy one of those bulletins and we transcribe it, send it to ARRL, and it is accurate, we get points. Displaying the availability of emergency generator power, so as long as we prove that we're running on generators, we get extra points for that. The education program, which is going to be the stealth and inexpensive HF antenna class. You want to encourage and greet visitors, amateur and non-amateur, to visit our site. So your friends, your neighbors, your family, everybody, tell them to come on out, visit us for Field Day because it's a lot of fun. You'll learn something new, you'll meet some great people, and who knows, you might get interested in ham radio. Have as many go-to station contacts as possible, so we'd love to have that go-to station on the air just making contact after contact after contact. And most years the go-to station's kind of quiet. So like I said, if you're a new ham, if you haven't been on HF in a long time or never been on HF, come operate the go-to station. And satellite contacts managed by our satellite crew, better known as Chuck, 84ES. So that all gets us extra points. Yes, Ed?
Do we have to operate on emergency power 100% of the time?
Yes. For the class that we are entering, yes, we do. Dan?
I didn't see. I think that if you operate on a battery and make a couple of contacts, you get extra points. Is that up there?
That's not up there, but that's a good point. I'll double check on that and make sure. Clyde?
Last year we got a little electrical, set up a solar panel.
Uh-huh. Okay. Solar panel, yeah. Very good. Dave?
I want to mention, you keep mentioning new hams or unlicensed.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that you got a tech, or for example, we got one member here, a
Mm-hmm.
prospective member, that there will be an extra class sitting right next to him.
Yes.
So a tech can do HF.
Yes.
An unlicensed can do HF.
Exactly.
So we will have somebody, so.
Yeah, no matter who is at the operating the go-to station, there will be an extra class ham with you at all times. Number one, it's a legal requirement, but number two, they're there to kind of guide you along. If you have any questions, how do I do this? What do I say? They're right there to guide you. Yes, ma'am?
Yeah, I would say on the go-to station that you don't have to have a license.
No, you don't.
To run that, you have
Mhm.
a control operator.
Yes. That's why unlicensed people can operate the go-to station. Yes.
So, the new people that don't have a
Mhm.
license, such as yourself, Eric.
Yeah, exactly.
Go up there and get, some hands-on experience and
Mhm.
make sure this is something you want to do.
Dan?
Yes. And then also, if we're operating a field day and we're in the extra part of the band,
Mm-hmm.
another person can sit down who's not an extra, as long as they're there to help control your mission.
Right, as long as there's an extra class amateur with them
That's correct.
to act as control operator. Yes. Walter?
So one thing David mentioned was about the control operator for the go-to station. You also get extra points for coaching. So that extra class operator acting as a control operator, you can show that you've got a coach there, there's extra points for that as well.
Okay, good to know. Okay, field day safety and common sense. As I said, our number one priority is safety. It is not making contact, it is not having fun, it is not eating, it is safety. Field day setup and tear down often happens in the hottest parts of the day, so it's important to wear a hat and the proper clothes and stay hydrated. Hydration is very, very important. Take breaks as needed. We'll have water there, so don't worry about that. We'll make sure that you stay hydrated. Some of the setup components involve antenna installations, running and securing cables, testing generators. So if you're in charge of one of those areas, make sure that you're directing the people who are assisting you so that they're not standing around and just doing however they feel like doing it. And if you are one of the assistants in that area, make sure you're following the instructions of the person directing you. If you come out and have no clue what to do, ask someone. There's always something to do, so we'll put you to work. Okay, and finally, if you're the kind of person that just wants to come out and shoot the breeze and stand around and chat with everybody while they're working, please don't do that.
Stop it.
Plenty of time to come out and chat and shoot the breeze during field day itself. So during setup, during tear down, if you're there, we're going to assume that you're there to work, and we're going to put you to work. Okay, as I mentioned, we'll have 4 stations on the air as fixed operations. We'll have 1 station dedicated to 15 meters, 1 dedicated to 20, 1 dedicated to 40. The 4th station will be alternate 10 meters and 80 meters because chances are we won't be using both of those bands at the same time. So 10 meters during the day and evening, 80 meters at night, and you'll be able to switch between the antennas. Those stations will be operating from the smokehouse. If you've never been in the smokehouse, you're in for a treat. The go-to station will be located inside the club station. We're just going to use one of the stations that's already set up there. We'll just switch the power from the mains over to a generator. 6-meter station will be set up, located inside the shack. Most likely the go-to station and the 6-meter station will be one and the same. Most likely no one will be operating one or the other at the same time. There's no guarantee there will be openings on 6 meters. It's just, as I say, a bonus station. You get extra points if you make contacts on there, but it doesn't have to be operated. We have the capability, so we might as well operate it. So we'll have it available. And the satellite station, as I mentioned, will be back again. Chuck will have that set up in the workroom of the club station and available for short contacts. All those satellite passes are very short, and it could be hours between contacts. So that's going to be kind of like watching paint dry, but when it's actually happening, it's pretty exciting. Okay, any of the 4 stations set up in the smokehouse will be available for either CW or sideband, operator's choice. If you like CW, paddles will be there. If you like sideband, a mic will be there. We won't have it set up for FT8 or anything like that. I know that you can do FT8 during field day, but we're not going to have them set up for that. If the 6-meter station is operating on FT8, you might be able to operate 6-meter FT8, but that would be the only digital that we'll be doing during field day. Radios will be staged in the smokehouse. They'll have GoKit laptops for logging. There's no formal schedule, so there's no sign-ups or anything. If a seat is available, jump in it and start operating. As I mentioned, the satellite station will be operated by Chuck, 84ES. He is the control operator, and he'll be in charge of the satellite station 100%. So any questions about the satellite station, those will go through him. Go-to station will be manned by Walter. The go-to station will use his call, K5LD. Others can be designated as the control operator. However, the go-to station will operate as K5LD throughout field day. We're only going to use one call sign on there so that there's no confusion. Okay, after field day, 2 p.m. Sunday, the last contacts are made, transmitting stops, and as I said, we'll probably take a short break, 15-20 minutes to everybody catch their breath, decide what we're going to do, take some pictures, and then start tearing down field day. So the field day chairman, that's me, or his designee, will begin compiling all the data logs, etc. from field day. Whoever is there for teardown will start taking everything apart. Obviously, we don't have to tear everything down in the club station. Chuck will be taking care of the satellite station. Go-to/6-meter station is the radio that's already there. But this is the stations that are in the smokehouse. So we'll disconnect radios, roll up coax cables, crank the tower down, take the tri-bander off, pull down the dipoles. As I said last year, it took us maybe 90 minutes to do everything because we had a really, really great group of people who dove right in and got the job done, and it all went very, very smoothly. So help will be needed. If you want to come out and help, please do so. And everything needs to be stored before leaving the site. And we'll have places to put everything. If anything goes off-site, either somebody will take it off on Sunday or we'll have made other arrangements for that equipment. Okay, questions? Alan?
How are you doing the logging?
Logging is on the computers. It's the N3FJP field day log.
Okay, so
You use N3FJP, going to use that?
Or is it M1MM? What did we use last year? Okay, M1MM. Okay,
We can use either one.
N1MM.
Dan, which,
Dan?
I just have a silly question.
I'll give you a silly answer.
What about the lights in the room? Can you run them on the mains, or do we have to run them on a battery?
Yeah, we can run the lights on the mains. It's just any equipment that we use for transmitting has to be on generator power. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Have you considered, since the sideband guys are so noisy, having the 2 sideband stations in the smokehouse and the 2 CW in the trailer, using those 2 stations?
We hadn't really considered that. It all worked out nicely last year. It wasn't a problem. There will be headphones for everybody, so I don't think the noise will be that big of a factor.
A couple of years ago, I was there, and there's just too much
Yeah.
yelling.
Yeah.
But if you did the 2 CW stations were already set up, it would be operating off a generator, but everything's set up, it's ready to go.
Right. Well,
Just open the window.
the thing is, the way that we have it planned out now, we're a little bit too far along to change things up for moving stations over to the club trailer. Plus the fact that we're operating all the radios as either CW or sideband, operator's choice.
Right.
So they're divided up by band.
Phone guys could go to the smokehouse, the normal hams could go.
Or it could be the other
We'll
way
take-
around. See, the other guys
we'll
go to
take-
the smokehouse and all that.
We'll take it under advisement.
Yeah, just think about it, because that's 2
Yeah.
less radios you have to worry
Yeah.
about, because we already got the Yaesus in there.
Right.
And you got the logging software and everything there, so.
Phil?
I think we also have to remember that when we're setting this up, all the antennas are gonna be outside in the field. We're not using the main antenna. So that means
Right.
that the radios that are already hooked up to the main antenna really won't be able to use unless we rewire everything.
Then we just get coax.
For the tower, yes.
Well,
For the new tower.
everything else, until everything's done on the tower.
Yep.
Is that possible to hook up to the tower for field day?
Well, the GOTA station's going to use the lower antenna on the tower. Yeah.
Well, if we had.
It is a fact, you also, for field day, I'm not sure, in the class, you have to actually erect the antennas and stuff, not have pre-existing antennas.
Well, you can use a pre-existing antenna on the GOTA station.
I'll go to, but everything else.
Everything else, yeah, you want to put up an antenna specifically for field day. Hold on just a moment, Dan. Dave, you had a question?
Yeah, well, last few field days, I've been there most of the time, and operating as a first aid, first responder, watching people for hydration, symptoms of either heat stroke or heat prostration, all that. I unfortunately will be at a wedding in New York for this field.
You'll be in Europe? Oh.
Substitute that my wife will accept. But, so somebody needs to, you need to make sure there's somebody there who can.
Yeah, we have a safety officer who's already volunteered, so, yeah. Yes, yes. He's been a safety officer for scouting events for umpteen years, so, yeah. Okay. Dan?
I forgot the question. They go away quickly.
Maybe try.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the question. We're operating as a 3A station,
4A.
I'm sorry, 4A station, now out of the smokehouse.
Yes.
How come the GOTA station can operate inside the trailer?
Well, the GOTA is a bonus station.
So that doesn't apply to being out in the field day, it can be any place.
It can be any place as long as we're running it off of a generator.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to run off the mains. It'll run off of a generator. Yes. Yes. Ken?
Keyers run by the computer?
Keyer is going to be your hand on a paddle.
Nobody uses it.
Sorry. Ed has no problem with that. Alan?
Are the computers all gonna be tied together, or you have separate laptops for every station, or what are you doing with the log?
I don't believe they weren't tied together last year. They're not networked, so they're going to be individual computers for each station, and we'll merge all the logs together after field day.
We could do that, but it's easier just to merge them.
Mhm.
We talked about that last year. We
Yeah.
didn't network them, we just merged them at the end.
Yeah.
How do you prevent duplicates?
I'm sorry?
How do you prevent duplicates? One station worked on it already.
bands.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're on different bands, so you can work the same station on each band.
Within the band, if there's a separate operator later on.
The log will flag it as a dupe.
M1M will show you if you got a dupe on it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter, work to do.
Yeah.
That's right, work. to
Yeah.
dupe.
And work to dupe. Yeah.
But what you're missing is, let's say the 20-meter station works, W1 XYZ,
Mhm.
and gets his section and his class.
Mhm.
And then sometime later, somebody works him on 15, and it's already populated. If you got the computer's network, you're going to miss that.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to suffer through that. Those extra keystrokes. Yes, copy what you hear, exactly. Any other questions? Don?
Did I understand you to say that the GOTA station and the 6 meter were gonna be the same station?
Same station.
Did you listen to 6 meters this weekend?
I did not.
Wide open.
Solid all weekend,
Yeah.
all night too.
And you know why it was open all weekend?
Because there was a contest.
Contest.
And you
Yeah.
know what field day is?
Yeah.
Some years it's been open like you can't work it out on any other
Yeah.
band except 6 meters. In other years, I've seen Gordon sit there for 4 hours, and it wasn't Gordon, it was Mark, K2MRK.
Mhm.
Guy, a hoarse voice from calling CQ with nobody answering.
Yeah.
So it's luck of the draw. It could
Yeah,
happen or-
6 meters is kind of a crapshoot that time of the year. So, I mean, if worse came to worse, we could use one of the other stations, hook it up to the generator, and use it separately as a GOTA station. But for right now, we're just going to try using the one station for both.
Last year we had Uncle Ed actually running FT8 and 6 meters.
Yeah,
Until he had a meltdown, he left, and that was the end of that. But the GOTA
Okay.
station stayed on the air. So
right. So, again, they're bonus stations, so, they're not quite as critical. Dan?
Oh, and don't forget, maybe this isn't a contest, but you get twice the points on CW. So all you CW ops, come on out.
That's
do I
right.
hear you volunteering as the chairman of the CW team? Are you volunteering as the chairman of the CW team? Is that what I'm hearing?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll change the notes. Dan's the
All
chairman
right.
of the CW. There you go, Jim. Sign up.
More than one operator, then there's a team.
I get your first
That's right.
recruit over here.
Okay. We still have a little time. Any more questions? Going once, going twice. All right, thank you all very much. Reminder, field day meeting tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. If you do think of any questions, come to the meeting. We'll see you there. Thank you.